Okay, the time is now 5 p.m. Our City Council workshop for September 16, 2025 is now in session. I just like to, as a reminder, there is a hard stop at 5:45 so that we may prepare for our City Council meeting. So first on the agenda is the hearing the residents. This time is set aside for any person who wishes to address the City Council. Each person is limited to 3 minutes, and we ask before addressing the council, for the record, please state your name and address. Did anyone sign up for the city hearing the residents? No? All right. Then we'll move on to our discussion item. The first one is the American Flood Coalition. Councilmember Hayward.
Let me turn this on. I'm just bringing this for council so we can discuss whether to be members. It's a free membership. And the American Flood Coalition, their biggest thing that they would like to push and do is focus on preventing flooding, not trying to do the disaster, and then giving you resources of ways to find grants to help with mitigating flood. And so they are just trying to come out to cities and be more involved. I know with FEMA, they were very involved with FEMA by changing the application process when you needed to do FEMA for those that were down on the coast that typically deal with hurricanes, when you were trying to get different things, and it's just also just residents as well, when they were dealing with trying to get like a FEMA trailer or money from FEMA, they had to apply to all the different departments kind of FEMA to get what they needed. And so American Flood Coalition went in and worked with the legislators to streamline the process. They typically send out a newsletter. They're also looking at ways that they can come out and teach you how to mitigate some of the flood. I know in some of the states like Idaho and areas up there that do a lot of crops, they've taught the farmers how to grow certain crops to help the soil replenish, to help mitigate the floods going forward. So it's just merely something that's free. It's a free resource. I can tell you that when the the floods happened in Kerrville, immediately Dr. Ruth, who is one of the ladies that I deal with, she immediately sent an email to me as a TML president to say, hey, here's some information that the residents and elected officials could possibly use, and they had all types of websites and locations for them to just go and look and see how they can get funding for things that were destroyed. They also worked with the mayor of Portland, who is one of their big proponents, Portland, Texas, to help work a delegation from the flood victims in North Carolina to come to Kerrville so that they could talk and work through things. So they're really an organization that is funded. It's a nonprofit organization. They're funded through philanthropy, and they don't ask any money to join. I've joined as an individual, and council members can join as individuals as well. But I was just looking to see if council would be interested in the whole city joining as a membership, and then they can come out and talk to us about different things that we might need when we're looking for flood mitigation.
Council questions?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes, Councilmember Guerrero.
Yes. If they do come out, is it for like a day, a week, or how does that work, Ms. Hayward?
They will come out for as long as they need, if we needed some help with them.
Okay, so like a briefing conference?
A briefing, yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I sent you, I think in your email link, they created a list of all the flood. It's like a flood finding tool. So if you need access or information, there's a tool that you can use to resource. They're also trying to get into getting on the ground with working with some of the Texas legislators in the State House, looking at ways to help them as they're trying to get money from FEMA to come in and bring in for floods, and also looking at ways to work with them to try to do some money to mitigate some of the floods. So they're working not only in the state of Texas, but they're also working nationally.
And also the money acquired, that's all grants, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
I think it's a great idea, actually, and then since there's no cost to us, it's a no-brainer on that one.
Councilmember, Mayor Pro Tem Brown.
Yeah, I think I was just going to ask the same thing as Councilwoman Watson. The fact that there's no cost or there's no other obligations?
Nope.
Nothing?
Nothing, and usually I think they have a 2-year conference and they invite people and they pay for that if you go. I just found out about that, but the mayor of Portland did attend in Washington, and they talked to all the Texas delegates and were able to get some things going. It's no cost.
Free is good.
Yeah.
Any other questions, council?
Mayor,
Yes.
I'll take that as the green light to move forward. And if it's not of your opinion or in their literature that we need a resolution to do this, staff can just move forward with joining?
Yes.
So-
All I did, what they do, I know when I did, they just wanted information about me and the area, and then they just kind of put your name out there as member, as a
Okay.
member city.
Well, staff will take the ball and run with it.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
All right. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Item number 2 is a joint coalition against bigger trucks. Councilmember Hayward.
I am bringing this one forward. This is an organization that is lobbying in the federal government because there are different companies that keep going up and they're wanting bigger trucks. So when we're talking bigger trucks, we're talking trucks normally I think are like 80 pounds is what they can carry. They're looking to try to have big trucks carry 90 plus pounds, do 2 trailers with that type of weight. And with the studies, it's shown that it is dangerous. It's unsafe for residents and people on the road. So I'm thinking about it. It's also a cost to the residents when you have heavier trucks and you have to fix your roads, and then the bridges would have to be retrofitted. So it could be very costly for this. And with this organization, it is not a membership. They just ask that when they are going up before the Congress and to testify and working with them, that we just send a letter or do a resolution saying that we are against bigger trucks on the road. I sent you a lot of information in there that they talked about. They have a white paper. They talked about the cost. I know that Texas right now, and I think it's just our size, Texas is one of the leading states with big truck accidents, and typically on average, and they're just doing an average where 2 people per day are killed by a big truck. And so I just looked at it as far as, 1, a safety aspect that we want to keep bigger trucks off the road, and number 2, just a cost to the city when we have to repair roads or we have to retrofit bridges. And for the cost of Texas with all the roads and bridges that we have, it just would be an enormous amount of money that would be spent to just try to have these bigger trucks on the road. And I just figured we could do, when it's time, they typically will send out a letter. I've done it a couple of times. They will write a letter for you. You read it, you like it, you sign it. If you want to make changes, you make changes. Or the city could just do a resolution, and we would send them the resolution, and they would use that to say that the city of Schertz is on board with not having bigger trucks on the road.
Council, floor is open for discussion on this one.
Paul has something.
Councilmember Macaluso.
I think it's unnecessary. I don't see us having a reason to get in there. It's pretty standard for weight limits. If you want over 80,000 pounds, you got to get a special permit. I know there might be legislation to try to increase that, but it doesn't have hardly any support. And if you look at who funds this organization, they're funded by the railroad industry. And so they have a reason why they want to keep the trucks off the street, because it takes freight away from them. So I would say that we would pass on this one.
Council, any other comments, questions? Most of the big trucks that we do have are on, state roads. Very few of them actually go into our neighborhood streets. Maybe the Parkway, and that's only because the Amazon and the industrial park is up there. But I haven't heard too many complaints regarding the bigger trucks on our city streets. And when you look at our state roads, again, that's TxDOT. we don't control those either. I agree with Councilmember Macaluso. There is regulations on who drives them, how long they can drive, and also the weight limitations on some of them. I just think that it's, at this point, not something that I would consider either.
When you say that, yes, there are regulations, but they're trying to change the regulations. Every legislative session in Washington, D.C., they are pushing that to change the regulations, so it could come before us and things change. And when we talk about it, yes, there are state regulations, but look at some of the accidents that have happened in the past, and the people that are driving these trucks don't speak English. And I'm not saying every company is not doing the right thing, but there are a lot out there. And then one big one that hit the news was in Florida, where the guy didn't speak any English, and he tried to make a U-turn on the main highway, and 3 people were killed, a family. I just, you know, that's kind of why I am
Yeah,
supporting this, but
well,
it's fine.
you made a good point, but if we don't know what these regulations are, we have the industrial park over there, and if we are not familiar with, if we just sign up and say we support this without knowing exactly what they're doing in Austin, it could hurt our industrial park. It can hurt our partners up there on the manufacturing, and that's why I think we need to actually hesitate on this one for that reason. We can't just go in there blindly and say we support this without knowing what their actions are in Austin. That can hurt our city. Yes, Councilmember Westbrook.
Mayor, is it possible, so to your point, to everybody's point, is it possible to sort of table it, maybe get some type of report, maybe even from economic development to how this may or may not harm our future in terms of, you know, transportation and warehousing?
Scott, is it possible that you can obtain something like that? I just don't know whether or not you have the ability to provide that information.
I mean, maybe economically, but in terms of damage to the roads and things of that nature that we're responsible for, I think that would be more of an engineering and public works
Yeah, I'll reach
research
out there and
project.
see if any of our larger manufacturers have any strong feelings towards it, though.
Okay, that would help. Councilmember Macaluso.
Yeah, just one last thing, and I understand what Councilwoman Hayward's saying about drivers, but that's not really what this is about. It's more about the weight limits and the length of the equipment, because there are some states, especially up north where it's rural, where they do what they call triples, where it's 3 trailers. They do not allow that down here, and they don't allow it in most areas that has more urban area. So it's, you know, right now it's kind of limited to doubles, and there's not anyone in the industry that thinks that that's going to be a possibility, as well as increasing the weight limits, which is 80,000 right now. But majority of the trucks that are going through city streets aren't going to be weighing anywhere close to 80,000. Most of those trucks are going to be stuck on the highways and the interstates.
Council, any other comments, questions?
I think it'll be good to get the reports so we can look at that. Whatever you can get for us,
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
I think that will help, you know, find out what our partners think of this before we take any action or be part of this coalition. I think it will be useful information. Hey, Council, any other comments? Yes, Councilmember Williams.
Not yet.
Yes,
Let me
Mr.
retire
Williams.
someday, maybe. But, no, so just to clarify, when we say do some research and look into it in our partners, we'll look at other cities that have industrial parks similar to the way we do. Is that
Yes.
what I'm hearing? Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure. So-
At this moment, my mindset is if no one thinks it's possible, we don't need staff to do research. You just don't have to do anything with it. It can just die. And I'm good with that.
Council, any objections to that? I don't want to burden the staff on something that may
That's
not
what I
be
don't want to
necessary.
burden the staff with, so that's why I'm like, we don't need the research. Listening to everyone and their comments, it's fine, it can just go away.
Okay. I think
As a
it's
group.
helpful to just keep in mind now when something, I mean, maybe later on in the future when things, if things get worse than what, I don't want to say worse. If traffic increases to a point that we have to look at it differently, yeah, it's still up there. It's still something to consider. But I think at this point, we just want to hold off on it. So
That's good.
that's not necessary for staff to look into it then.
No.
Okay. No other comments? Quick and easy. All right, the time is now 5:16. We stand adjourned.
All right.